people. It is Training Thursday. We're back for 2019 with Training Thursday. If you are new to my channel or new to the Naturpreneur Hub, every Thursday we have a free training on business mindset and what it takes to be a success as a naturpreneur. So, well, welcome. I am so excited for 2019. I don't know, 2019 has just this vibe where 2018 was feeling a little bit heavy towards the end there, right? I packed so much into 2018, but 2019 feels spacious. Feels like a big white piece of paper. So who is listening today? Hey, we've got Jules here. I've been inspired by you this week, Jules, calling BS on all of the butts. Calling BS on all of the butts. But we don't make enough money as naturopaths or practitioners. But I don't have enough time for the up-leveling that I want in my business. But I'm calling BS on all the butts. So if you've just joined, please say hello if you are in here. I wanted to share with you today this, one of the first things that we do in the Naturpreneur Club, which is our group mentoring program that goes for 5 months. And it's one of the biggest things that I see, and I used to do myself. So I used to definitely use excuses. Now, they could be very real to me at the time. I could say that they were more valuable to me at the time than anything else, and they were more real and that it wasn't an excuse. But essentially, it's a story I was telling myself as to why I could or couldn't do something. See how I said could and couldn't do something? So I can and I can't do something. In actual fact, those two things make me make a choice between whether I can or I can't. Can and can't are just a choice. And the beauty of that is, when I was going through my first uni degree, interestingly enough, while I was learning, while I was going through my uni degree, I couldn't afford to go to uni by itself. So my parents didn't get, we didn't get enough and qualify for Oz study and things like that. So I had to always be working. So during that time, I was working 4.5 days a week whilst having a full load for university. So I was working 2 jobs and going to uni at the time. Now, interestingly enough, we see a weekly calendar, and my weekly calendar, if it was all clear of all of the things, has the exact amount of hours that your weekly calendar does. My weekly calendar also has the exact amount of hours that Amelia Earhart's weekly calendar had, or Marie Curie's had, or Einstein's, or let's see, who else? Richard Branson has the same amount of hours in the week as what I do. Yes, sure, they are leveraged because they have systems, processes, and teams in place to help them. But essentially, we've all got the same amount of minutes. We've all got the same amount of hours. And this is a process that we take everybody through right at the beginning of the club, because in actual fact, that story that we continually tell ourselves and tell other people, no, I'm busy, I don't have time, is in fact a story. It's a whole bunch of BS, and we can prove it. So my invitation to you guys this week, hey Anita, hey Jules, yes, BS busting right here, right now. My invitation to you guys this week is to actually write down for 3 days. Now, this is tiny in comparison to what we get everybody to dive deep into in the club. 3 days, I want you to write every 15-minute increment what you are doing. And some of you already just go, no, I don't have time for that. But you can figure out a way in retrospect, only an hour later, half an hour later, right at the end of the day, what you were doing in those 15 minutes. Now, to write it down, a sentence or even a couple of words, takes about 3 seconds of those 15 minutes, right? We're going to write that down, and then we're going to see what those 15-minute increments look like over a whole day, let alone a whole 3 days, and where you are spending your time. spending your time versus investing your time. So you can spend your time quite quickly and easily, just like you can spend money. I could spend my time back in the day. Instead of going to university, I could have spent my time going partying or something else with the extra time I had outside of work and the extra time I had and money I had. I could have spent it. I wouldn't have got anything in return for that except for some nice memories, but I would have spent it. Where you go investing your time, you either get time or money back by investing it. And so if you are investing your time, it's a whole different ballgame to spending it. So we could spend it for the next 15 minutes, let alone the next hour, going into the good old social media cycle or spin into the big vortex that is Instagram, the big vortex that is everybody else's life on here. Or we could invest that same 15 minutes. And if we were to invest 15 minutes a day, every day of the year on your business, that's 90 hours that you just invest on your business. 90 hours. Wouldn't it be cool for all you guys that have in the back of your mind right now, but I don't have the time for that. I can't even write down 2 words every 15 minutes. I can't possibly have the time for that. Imagine if you had 90 hours right now. 90 hours. Every time you waste or spend 15 minutes, you don't get it back. Every time you waste or spend 15 minutes, that's 90 hours in the year that you could have invested into your business. And if you were either learning about getting clients or getting clients yourself in that time, marketing yourself to get clients, then you're actually investing it to get money, traction, action, your dreams, your goals, your visions, your plans. They all need money in the world that we live in right now. And so when we spend that time on the things that aren't actually moving our business forward, even though we say that we value our business, even though we say that this is going to be a goal for the year, and then we cut it off with, but I don't have the time for that, and then we go into the super scroll for the next 45 minutes, it's incredible what you could get done instead. Now, going back to the story about my first uni degree, had 2 jobs. I was teaching, I was running gymnastics programs for local schools all the way around country New South Wales, and I was going to university. What do you know, by the end of 3 years, I still got my degree. But I was investing my time by getting money through going to work or creating a new level of income over a certain amount of time. Then my second uni degree, similar thing kind of happened. I had gotten into the pathology after working at morgues and cancer research. And as I was in pathology and working through hospitals, I then decided I wanted to up-level into naturopathy. And to do a naturopathic degree at Southern Cross Uni, I had to invest time. Now, I didn't have the time for that. Like, I was working full-time. I don't have the time for all of that. But in actual fact, if I did do the 15-minute increments, and if I look back on it now, sure, I had my 7 hours, but then there was however many hours outside of that. And because I ended up renegotiating that I could work 4 days a week and I could pop things on the other end, I ended up creating time. It's like I made time out of nowhere. But in actual fact, it's the same time that every one of us, and Mary Curie and my favorite, Amelia Earhart, we all have the same amount of time. So you can create and find the time for things that are important to you. And if this year you have said that your business, your lifestyle, and your goals that are dependent on you making money through your business are important to you, then you need to invest time, unless you've got plenty of money to invest. And at the moment, I can see that we've got a little bit more time to play with. It's time to invest time into the things that you say are important. Now, I've said this year that my health and my well-being are important. And every morning, I don't have the time to be exercising. I don't have the time to be doing all that. I've also said that I value my family, so I'd rather be cuddling my 9-year-old in bed. I'd rather be having my cup of tea. But I've said that this is important to me. It's more important than anything that I live to 100 so that I can see my grandkids, right? So if that's important to me, I need to invest time to do it. So I've got up every morning since the 1st doing my 20 to 30 minutes. And you'll see it on my Instagram stories because I'm trying to keep myself externally accountable because I happen to know that about me. By investing in your time and being externally accountable to a group like here, accountable to a business buddy, accountable to whoever you trust, or if you're brave enough to go totally visible out on social media land, then you can hold yourself accountable to investing that time. So when it comes to, I don't have time to work on my business because all of those other things, you're just choosing them. At that point in time, you're just choosing something else. And that's totally okay, but you have to be okay that you're going to get amazing results in all of these other areas, and this thing isn't going to grow. So if this thing over here is what you want, and you've said and stated it in your goals this year, I want a bigger business, I want a bigger impact, I want to help more people, and I want that money to come into our family, and you don't feed it with time, you don't feed it with learning about how to run that business, you don't feed it with all of the things that are beneficial for it, then it's not going to grow. And in those moments where you spiral into Instagram stories or Facebook or your feed, when you spiral into blog posts and random things, when you learn about things that you already have a qualification in, when you choose to spend every waking second doing something else, these are going to grow, which is awesome. But I don't want you to be the most knowledgeable, most family-orientated person who doesn't have a business that actually brings them joy because they haven't spent any time on it. All right, people. I've given you a little bit of kick up the butt. So I gave you this, my peeps, my clubsters call it the velvet hammer. I calm it down and I just kind of give you a bit of a nudge, but it's so important because you guys have put out all these goals. You've put out all of these, you've actually put in half-hour increments this past week in the NatBiz Scav Hunt if you joined us. You can do this in small increments, or you can find chunks of time to actually work on it, just like anybody else. And having a full-time job, having a family, I have a family. I have a full-time job. I have a blended family. I have 2 businesses that we run. I have my health, my well-being. I have all these other dreams and goals as well. I have all of those things as well, and I'm here doing it, right? I'm here sharing it with you because I was in those spaces and places before, and I've seen that how much crap I was telling myself and how much more I'm capable of when I don't need to tell myself that anymore. And I was making excuses for me not being big, for me not making the impact that you can make. And it's the same for you. You're making excuses so that you can stay nice and small and safe. And time is just another excuse. Every single human being, don't do the buts in your head right now as I'm saying this, because they're all stories that you got told when you were little, and they're all stories from past lives, or they're all stories from wherever you believe them to be, but they are not your story. You are full of absolute potential as a healer, and you have the potential to learn how to run your business and get people in the door as well. You have the potential to learn how to run an online course or an online program if you choose, and you have the capacity to find the time. You found the time to get your qualification, so you have evidence that you can do the finding of the time. You have evidence that you can cram stuff in one night. I bet every single one of you guys who has a qualification crammed one night throughout that qualification to get that thing in, to get it done, because it was important to you at the time. As much as healing people's bodies are important to you, running your business needs to be that important if you would like to be successful in it. And I want that for you because the other stuff flows from there. When you're successful in your business, you have not only the money pouring in, but you have a level of confidence and a level of a presence that you can't have when you're worried about all of the other details and all of the other things. When you are successful in your business, it makes you a success in your family life as well. You're an amazing shining example of putting work in and getting a result. The amount of work you put in is the amount that you get out. You know, it's an amazing opportunity for your kids, your family, the people around you to see that you are actually living your dreams. And I want to see that for everybody here. Whew. All right, so I'm just catching up with all of the messages. Hey, Anita, you've been doing the time stamping this week as well, Anita. Awesome. Tara, I love nudging you, lovely. I'd love to see your mentoring program come out this year with a huge bang so everybody can see it and not hide in the 15-minute Instagram scroll. Christy, awesome. I'm really pleased that it's hitting home. And Louise, now this message isn't for everybody. Some of you guys are not going to be ready to hear it. And that's totally okay. And we are all completely human. Even for me, excuses will continue to come up for my health. Excuses will continue to come up for the way that I have been kind of programmed to do communication or business or that kind of thing. And then I'm going to lean in and learn about it. When I hear something that's like, I know that it's actually for me, it might not just be for me yet. So if I lean in and learn a little bit more about it, if I lean in and actually experience it and see what it feels like to do it a different way, then I get a really different learning on the back end of it. So it's totally okay to be human. It's totally okay to have butts. You will continue to have butts. You can't just turn them off. It's all part of being human. You'll continue to have, but I don't have time, but the kids are doing this, but there's no money for that, but there's this, but, and it's totally normal. And then there's other opportunities where you go, yeah, I can figure this out because this is important to me. Yeah, I can figure this out because this will be the first step to the next thing. And this will be the first step to the next thing. And this will be the next step to the next thing. And then I'll have that macro win and that big goal that I really wanted to achieve that I wrote down and told everybody about in the NatBiz Scav Hunt. I even took a picture of it. So hopefully this has hit home for whoever needed to hear this today. And if you didn't, leave it to the side. That's okay. I would love to hear your insights about where you are creating an awareness about your time. When you create an awareness about how you are spending or investing your time and how you can get something back for the time that you put in. I'd love to hear your insights. I'd love to see that you've tracked your day even and see where there's going to be a pattern that you might be doing something with that you might not have been aware about before. And it's just when you first create an awareness, something comes after that, which is a choice. Sometimes we don't think we have a choice until we first create an awareness about it. So I want you to really, don't just think, oh yeah, I do spend my time doing other stuff. Actually write it down. Go through the experience of writing it down where you are doing those things. And then truly look at the hard data, because you can't get away from hard data. It's a very different thing to feel. But hard data you can't get away from. Oh, I did do that. That is there. Just like our food diaries that we send to our clients, right? Oh, that's what it looks like. And then you can make an informed choice about, do you actually have a spare bit of time to invest on something that you've said is important to you this year? All right, I'm sending this with much, much, much love to you guys. I am super excited about what you can create, and I'm super excited to shine the light occasionally this year on the things that might be standing in the way, and some of those things might be a little uncomfortable, but they are really important because they are the things that stretch us into a new space of growth rather than contract us into an old space that isn't working for us anymore, because this year is all about new. at the beginning of the year, and you've got to find new ways of doing things to get new results. Old ways of doing things are going to get you the same old results, and you said you didn't want same old results this year. You want new ones, so it's time to do it a new way. All right, much love. Mwah. Halula, lovely to see you in the group. It's very nice. Little wins do make big wins in the end. Yes. Louise, great to be aware of the blocks and then move forward for a successful practice. Margie, it's nice to see you live as well. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next vids. Oh, please let us know. There is availability in the e-course. All right, here's a little spiel on the end. The e-course. There is an e-course on the 23rd of January for practitioners to create your own e-course in one day. Yep, the whole works from where to go, picking it, finding a title that'll work, figuring out how to organize that in a way that people's learning styles will be looked after and behavioral change will happen, putting it on a platform, then figuring out how to get it out to the world, and then actually creating it, getting it done within 24 hours. It's available for 24 hours. And in those 24 hours, sorry, 27 hours, because it actually runs for 3 hours before. In those hours, you could do this. You could do this. If this is for you, you could do this. And you're going to go, yes, this is important to me. I want to create an e-course. I'm going to find the time. And it might be 8 p.m. to midnight. It might be whatever it looks like for you. But you will figure it out and you will find that time to invest. Because then the investment means that you've got something tangible at the end of those 24 hours to literally sell online and you never have to look at it again. So there's that. And if you miss it and you can't truly find the time, and I am aware that in different parts of my life, I truly wasn't either ready or I couldn't find the time because other things were, you know, brand new babies, all that kind of stuff. So if you truly can't find the time, it's okay. It will be available on the members site, naturepreneurclub.com, in March. It just needs to be tweaked and prettified and put on the platform so that it's easier for bite-sized chunks for you to consume it however you want. It will be more expensive because we have to do that to it, but it will be there. So don't worry, you're not going to miss out. It's going to be available. All right? So I hope you guys have an amazing day and an amazing week, and I'll catch you next week for the Training Thursday next week. If this has been helpful to you or somebody else, please share it or tag them below, and I will catch you in the next vids. Bye.